I'm here. Don't despair. Or I guess you can despair if you want to. I'm not to tell you not to. These days, it might be even the right choice. Here it is. This is the correct one. Now, desktop audio. I don't see it. It hasn't shown up yet. Here it is. Takes a bit. This is SteamVR 2.0. What's the matter, Short Talk? What have I done? Did I do something wrong? You seem perturbed. Just setting up for 7th Guest VR. I also wanted to grab by the Ghoulies tonight. We don't... I don't know if we're going to have enough time for that. We'll see how much I like 7th Guest. I ought to. I asked for it. Okay, I can't get Steam to display at all. That's a bad sign. Some of these won't render. That is also alarming. Fingers crossed. Are you crossing your fingers? You better be. Oh fuck, you know what I forgot? OVR drop. I need that for chat. That's what I always forget. One of many things. Do I have chat now? Almost. I almost have chat. Now I have chat. I cut almost all my hair off. I've got an extreme buzz cut. Like all the cool kids do. Specifically for VR, though. Why am I so low? What do you mean sliding? I'm a little bit taller now. What is this? Oh. Make me taller. Smooth locomotion. Let's see how tall I am in game first. It looks good, but I've been spoiled by the Room VR. Chat, 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 indeed. Grab the oar to row towards the White House. I don't think I will. Oh. It's like I'm really slowly rowing a boat. Row, row, row your boat roughly up my ass. Merrily, 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 merrily. Something that rhymes with ass. Undecided. Atmospheric, though. I think this is what we all fantasized about playing games like this on PC CD-ROM in the 90s. Like, what if this was VR? VR was such a big question mark and such a big fantasy for so many people that it almost couldn't possibly live up to expectations because people had godlike expectations of what VR would be like. This is mostly what I expected, though. We have it now. This runs on Quest 3 and Quest 2, by the way, so I imagine that limits the fidelity somewhat, but so far it looks pretty good. The Brap gas. Let's see. Am I the right height? I feel like I should be taller than this. Seems about right, actually. Where'd it go? Did I drop it? Ooh, performance is not great. I am streaming, though. This is a Quest game. Don't give me those dropped frames. What happens if I drop that lantern? Is it on my hip? It's not on my hip. Uh-oh. What have I done? You get a drink. Let me know the results. Sure talk. That would save me a lot of money. Gym costs me $40 a month. Haircut costs me $30 a month. That's $70 out of my pocket. If I could do it myself, I would. Oh. My cock. Oh, there it is. See, does he have both eyes? He doesn't have both eyes. So we have to find the gemstone. It looks like a Quest game, which is also the problem with Lust from Beyond or Lust from the Shadows. I forget which one it was. Don't buy that game if you want it to be sexy. It's not a sexy game. The character models are like Dreamcast polycount. It's a good puzzle game, though. This is pretty good so far, actually. Mechanically. I'm a little taller. You know, the scale is off, and I can tell. Because I played a lot of games where the scale's correct and learned how they look different. But this is honestly better for VR. Different scales look correct on monitor versus in headset. New Retro Arcade Neon had the same issue. Where what looks correct isn't necessarily what's correctly scaled. Like if you look at the actual asset sizes in a model viewer, from New Retro Arcade, everything's huge. Like the Game Boy is like 4 times the size it should be. But that's better for VR because you can see the details better and it feels more correct. A lot of stuff in film is like that too. A lot of stuff. I can't understand you. Stuff that looks correct on screen has to be fucked around with. And doesn't look the same as it does in real life. Am I a wee little Babito? Am I Babington? I would have liked to explore the manor grounds. Whatever. It's nothing. That's the hint. Butterfly. There's no record. I'm a little bit too tall now. I overestimated how tall I wanted to be. It really feels like you're too close to the ground. But it looks like it's actually designed that way on purpose. So nobody cares. But Big PMU, the Jaguar emulator, is getting really good at overclocking, which makes a lot of the games playable for the first time. There were a lot of games on Jaguar that were just downright unplayable because of bad frame rates, because Atari kept pushing texture mapping to appear more competitive with 3DO and 32X. But interestingly, in some games it breaks the speed. It's like trying to overclock Star Fox for Super Nintendo, where movement is bound to CPU ticks. Not every game is like that on Jaguar. Some of the games you can improve the frame rate without making the game unplayably fast. Some you can't, though. There will still need to be fan-made patches for that. But it's astonishing how playable and not great, but good some of the games become once they have frame rates above like 5 or 6 frames a second. Like my Skeleman hands. Quest 2 is actually a very solid PC VR choice. It looks like the rumor is their plan is to have a 2-tier software support strategy where they're going to keep the Quest 2 around and make iterations off of it that are lower cost, and have that be the budget headset, and have iterations on Quest 3 be the premium headset. I don't know how true that is. Or if it's just to ameliorate consumer anger from parents who didn't realize there was going to be a Quest 3 and they were going to need to buy a new headset. Like when Nintendo said the DS wasn't going to replace the Game Boy, it was going to be a third pillar. This looks like a guy. You bought this mansion making toys? I should just shave my head already. I don't need hair for women anymore. Just shitty, not a shittier. Like they won't compromise on the specs, but finding ways to cut costs. Like the 2DS. Like my little Skeleman hands. Lust from the Shadows is basically just a less subtle Scorn. It's like what if Scorn, but the genital imagery was much more overt. It's just got dicks and titties in your face all the time. Some of you might be like, hey, cool. I like those things. Me too. It was kind of originally a horny impulse buy, but it was on sale for like a couple dollars. It's like I can pay a couple dollars for VR titties. Especially if they're spooky boobs. Spooky boobs, they're gonna move ya. Spooky boobs, they get right through ya. Spooky boobs, the boobs are gonna move ya. Come on down. Feel your hands with spooky boobs. The boobs are gonna move ya. They're spooky, but they're also boobs. Boobs are gonna move ya. That's all I wanted, but that's not what I got. What I got was a pretty decent, actually well-made Scorn. Like, Scorn with worse graphics. Oh, it's got inertia. It wobbles because of the... How do I put this? The mass. I like when VR games do that. It gives things a sense of weight. So I need to... Oh, I should use the lantern to manifest the record. I'm stupid. This feels like a little bit... It's been streamlined and dumbed down, but I think that that's because it's no longer constrained to Myst style movement. Oh, 3D FMV. Weird. Oh, photogrammetry. Oh, weird. 3D scan based video. That's actually really well done. Checking out the butt cheeks. The acting is a little better than it was in the 90s. What's good, Strider GIF? It's really surreal. I played this on CD-ROM to play this in an immersive VR environment. This is what it wanted to be, but technology didn't allow it yet. It's getting a second life. As perhaps technology will give all of us one day. Yeah, my piss. Dumb mongoloid bitch. Is that really even a puzzle? My hands are in the way. Ew, this food's moldy. Wait a minute. It's pretty well made. Follows all the conventions. By the way, the game is almost inaudible to us. I'll fix that. You're not missing much. I had it muted. You were hearing it through my microphone. Juicy boobs. They're gonna boobs, yeah. Can I open this? I can't.
My dear Mr. Knox, how good of you to come during these difficult financial times. I believe everybody deserves a second chance, just as I got a new lease on life. And tonight, I want to return that favor by welcoming the elite of our community to my house. This house is a mystery for all my guests to solve. A real head-scratcher, Mr. Knox. With only one reward, to fulfill your wildest dreams. But each guest must solve the mystery for themselves. Those are the rules of the house, and that is how the game is played.
So it's like Bioshock. I'm gonna find recordings. Oh, that's where the fucking plate goes. Alright. This feels so, how to put this? Like a big part of the presentation of the original one was choosing the framing of the fixed camera angles that would focus exactly where they needed to be on the puzzles. Seeing the mansion still be designed as if it's centered around those kinds of puzzles, which it is, but without the fixed camera angles, is throwing me for a loop. Can you hear better now?
Look, you can see the available rooms, and it even can give hints. It can even solve puzzles for you if you're stuck. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone.
I don't think so. I see. What is this? What do I do with this? This is going in my urethra, if nobody tells me.
That's a stout coin. If you're stuck, you can spend that at the spirit board in return for solutions.
This is making a strong case for VR as a medium. This is really well implemented. Can I jump? I cannot jump. Can I grab this? I can. To what end? By the way, I've been playing around with Runway, the AI video generator. It's how that one guy made the pizza nuggets commercials and Goner nuggets. I've been having pretty good luck so far. I think the best approach is not to use text only, but to generate an AI image with DALL-E 3. And then feed that image into Runway, because you can fine-tune DALL-E 3 to get the image you want to start with. Then give that to Runway, and then the prompt is what you want it to change about the image in the course of the video. Gee, I wonder what he had this for. It's pretty double caked up, honestly. This is what dudes had in the 1800s instead of fucking anime figurines. Just tummy statues. Honestly, patrician taste, though. Can't fault him there. doesn't have a... It has like partial index support. It's designed around the Quest, obviously, because the 3 fingers move as one, but it does use the sensors. I appreciate that as the bare minimum, instead of using the secondary trigger, which doesn't exist on index. Oh, I see. Oh, cool. It fades in and out. This shows you the past. That's why everything is all fucked up in the present. But it's brand new if the light shines on it. Oh, it's like the Clive Barker's Undying sanity effects. That's cool. I like this. This was a good expenditure. Although I think a certain fan provided it for me. As an early Christmas present. I fear standalone is going to be the way that all VR goes before long. That we'll lose a lot of control over our games because of it. It'll be a lockdown ecosystem like a console. Just because that's the format in which it will be possible to make affordable for most people. That opens up. What is that expression? What does that say? Oh, look at the spotlight. It's really... The projection effect is really good. Don't look at my titties. Any ghost activity here? No. Just decomposes. No, it's not called Runaway. It's called Runway. Ask Short Talk. I showed him some of the early footage. What I want to do is here's my conundrum. I want people to read my stories, but almost nobody wants to read. It's a really actually a small subset of society that reads for pleasure anymore. I hate to say. So to reach a larger market, I reached out to audio narration content creators on YouTube, and I have 16 audio narrations now. But I learned in the process that more people are willing to listen to something than are willing to read it, but not that much more. I expanded the scope of my potential audience, but not as much as I thought. So now my thinking is go one step further and set the narrations to AI generated spooky, surreal, dreamlike video, which is uniquely suited to the format. It's kind of hot right now, and people seem to be dragging their feet on making use of it, so I can still be in on the ground floor. Well, this is cool. Uh-oh. Bird, human head, donkey. Look at those motion controls come back. I feel like I'm playing Wii. This actually feels a lot like The Room.
Getting stuck? How about some shock treatment?
Rather you didn't. There we go. Fish. Human head. So it's got to be combinations of these four symbols connected, adjacent to each other. That's my game plan, though, for the near future. Which is going to take longer and to make videos than I already am. There we go. This isn't so hard. Donkey, bird. Fuck. If these two are adjacent and identical, then I could have to go in different directions. Wish I could just rotate my wrist. Gotcha. Wasn't so hard. Glad I didn't cheat.
Oh boy, thanks.
Dumb. The next one will be harder.
Staff seems to know.
I should
all
fucking
about
hope so.
us.
Yes, he himself seems to have vanished.
Ned, how wonderful.
Oh, who gives a damn? Will you look at that ghastly cake?
I suppose we should indulge just to be polite.
Allow me.
Marvelous. I think I'll stick to the wine, thank you.
Surprise, surprise.
Well, it's better acted than it was. That's all there was to it? I'm disappointed. That was actually fun. It wasn't janky or frustrating either. It was very, what's the word I want? Streamlined. This would not frustrate a child. I don't think. Then again, it's quest content. It has to be a little bit more curated than usual. Everything that worked, nothing broke. It was challenging but not too hard. This is grade A normie VR content.
The house remembered. The memory also opened other rooms. You can visit them now. Look at your spirit board to see which ones.
Isn't every day we get quality horror content in VR either. This is a treat. It won't let me do it yet.
Don't you think I belong on the Great White Way? Sure, I did my stint as chorus girl, but lately all I can get are local gigs. And every great artist needs a patron.
Miss Bird, whatever you're offering, I'm not interested. And if there's one person to solve Stauf's mystery, it will be me. Alone.
We'll see about that.
What a Giga Chad. Who am I? Am I any of these? This is damn good though. This is rich, chocolatey, grade A VR content. VR at its best feels like you're in a Pixar movie. Like a Shadow Point. Shadow Point is still unsurpassed for me though. I think the only way it could be better is if you remastered it. Because it did have kind of hairy graphics. Oh. Maybe it just goes on a different record player. Nope, it won't move. Damn, this shit's good. How did this take so long though? It's fucking 2023. VR came out in 2016. This is how long we've had to wait for a I guess there's been other horror offerings. There have been few and far between though. And it's kind of astonishing that it took this long for a game that's a mass market appeal haunted house horror game. That's a full-length, full-fat game to come out on this medium. VR has finally gotten off the ground, but fuck, it took a long time. Holy shit. 7 years before we started to get regular releases of games of the same quality as console and PC, but that were dedicated to VR. I thought it would happen faster than that. I thought it would. I mean, it's taken off, but it took off like the spruce goose, not like a rocket. Oh, spooky man. Spooky, spooky, spooky man, spooky man, spooky man. It's probably the best game, or the best overall experience I've ever had in VR with Shadow Point. It's just a complete package. It has Patrick Stewart narrating. I don't know if you like Pixar, but it really does feel like you're playing a Pixar movie. And it tugs on your heartstrings. It has charming characters. It has good art direction. The puzzles are really well designed. They're really interesting and satisfying to solve. It has really cool, interesting Portal-style gameplay mechanics, except you can pass... The Portal is handheld, and you can use it to look at the alternate universe, like laid over the regular one, but also you can step through it at any time. And the gravity puzzles are really cool. The gravity
Feels like it's watching me.
are probably the most conventional mechanic in the game. I guess it's too much to ask that every single mechanic would be an innovative banger. What saves it is that it combines the mechanics. Like initially, there are puzzles that make use of a single mechanic to teach you how the mechanic works. But then, once you learned all the mechanics, it starts to combine them in the same puzzle. It's damn good. I'm really jealous it's Oculus only. A lot of good stuff is Oculus only, for fuck's sake.
Just like your ABCs.
Strange toys. Seems like Stauf is up to his old tricks.
Curse is Oct. The YouTube channel has a Quest game coming out. It's also Quest exclusive, and I don't like that. I don't want to be sucked back into Zuckerberg's walled garden. PCVR is superior and it's free. It's open. I think the only solution is for Valve to come up with their own standalone, which is going to be a while because they need it to run full-fat VR games, which is a big ask, and mobile hardware. I think that's what Steam Deck is a step towards. I think it's also benefits from the stagnation caused by Quest, where VR games have to target Quest to make any real money now. So they've been stuck at a certain level of graphical fidelity. But you can ramp up the graphical detail depending on whether you have like Quest 2 or 3. But that also means that at best, for the PC version, you get a cut like higher resolution textures and shit. But usually not higher polygon models. But that's for the best. I'm not complaining. A lot of people complain about that with consoles holding back PC graphics, but that's not really true anymore, for one thing. And for another, that prevents you from having to upgrade as often. And for VR, that's a good thing because it keeps the performance requirements down, or it keeps them increasing more slowly so that hardware can catch up. So eventually we'll have a standalone PC VR headset. Which is to say an x86 based Valve competitor against the Quest, which is what I want. I'll sell my organs if I needed to get that. Quest has overall been a really big boon to the industry. That seems to be the form that normies will tolerate VR in, is something that's standalone and console-esque. It's like an Apple product that they can throw on their head and immediately start using it. And they've done a great job of getting rid of external trackers, for one thing. Getting rid of the tracking rings on the controllers, for another thing. Doing full body tracking without anything you have to put on your body except for the headset, which is just magic and amazing. It's astonishing witchcraft. So I can't complain too much. It's like Apple. I can't fault the hardware, really. It's well engineered. It's beautiful. It's just the business practices and software. But Quest is... love it or hate it, and it makes my skin crawl. That seems to be the form that VR is taking in the future. And most people are going to be funneled into Zuckerberg's ecosystem. I really hope he just gives up. He seems to have mostly given up on Horizon Worlds now. That's the last article I read about it, is that he diverted money into funding development of exclusive games, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's bad because it makes me fucking jealous, and a good thing because it means more high quality, full fat VR games. I guess he realized if VR dies as a medium before he finishes fleshing out Horizon Worlds, then it's never going to take off, and the way to keep it alive until then is exclusives.
Train set. Stuff.
Hee
Really?
hee model trains. Can I push it?
The tracks need to change.
This is a lot large range of motion. Does that not attach? This is the third one. That's gonna be a fucking $1,000 minimum, though. A standalone index. Meta has the right idea for. I guess this is like you need a mass market device to drive mass adoption of a medium like Nintendo with video games, but then you have that foundation supports software creation and makes it profitable that we eventually trickles up to the better hardware. We just don't get all of it. So that's one. That's one. Which way does that go? There we go. This is pretty cool. Why can't I? This is a bit tricky to control. This should not require such a range of motion. And for VR, it's not comfortable. Small complaint, small complaint. Overall, pretty well done. It'd be nice if we can just have access to this Quest exclusives, but that would defeat the point of them, which is to drive adoption of the Quest hardware. They have no financial incentive to make it available to Quest users. Maybe in the future we can hack it. There will be like an emulator for Quest that runs on PC. With enough power, you can do a lot of silly things. Get it turned around. There we go. A little hard, but not too hard. Perfect. Just right. Just right. Wow, this is really well designed. Steam Link had. I hope so. How's that going to work? Is there going to be like a compatibility? A compatibility layer would require more hardware power. I think the right idea is to sort of freeze recommended VR spec for a couple years, like they have been doing, so that hardware can catch up. But also with standalone.
My dear Mrs. Knox, I'm so glad you joined us. It must have been a trying time for you and your Edward.
Where do we put these weird blocks?
Oh. I don't know what that means. I'll figure it out though. So they have to be adjacent either horizontally or diagonally, I believe. Can't let this go. It's gonna be one more block. Blankets. Spooky old houses are cozy. I don't care what anyone says. Can't read. Part of the challenge is it's really uncomfortable to kneel down or crawl in VR. So either you include a duck button, which is immersion breaking, or you just have to design around staying upright most of the time. Or like all of the time. Oh, here we go. 3, 5, 6.
Knows. He's been eyeing the company. He knows all about our financial troubles.
3561 to 91.
Huh. It's a comptometer. Just like the one I have at the office.
No. Fuck. Oh fuck, the second tower's been hit. Oh no, it's hit the Pentagon. No. Push this. Do these correspond to this shit? Inactive ones don't do anything. Oh, that adds. Okay. That changed this one too. What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what's a good solution for that. It's like people saying VR needs better locomotion. How do you do that in a home setting without having some huge expensive contraption? The best I've seen is the Catwalk VR. In terms of something actually feasible for the home, even that's kind of a big ask at $700, which is what it was when it launched. There are some people who are going to go all in on stuff, shit like haptic vests and catwalks, which are really well designed and serve the purpose. You can sit down in them at any time when you're tired. They rotate freely. They don't need built-in driver support. It alternates between adding and subtracting, I think.
I need to reach a certain number. But which one?
I might not be able to do this. If I knew for sure how this worked, it would help. Sometimes this changes the adjacent row. I think if I add to a larger number, then it can display by itself. Add, subtract, add, subtract, yeah, add, subtract, add, subtract, add, subtract, add, subtract, add, Subtract. No, the reaching 10 doesn't seem to change that one. There's various tricks, though, I've noticed, for making you feel as if you're feeling stuff by visual cues. Since visual is a sense that's mostly replicated in VR. Things like having objects wobble based on their mass and be harder to move if they're heavy. Your body mostly plays along with it.
There must be a clue nearby.
There is a clue nearby. I already read this. Add 3, subtract 1. I have to add 1 for. Subtract 1. Add, nope. How the fuck does that work? Does that have to be a different one each time? Here we go. No, that's not it. I can't give up this easily. I'm going to need these later on. It's a 4, not a 6. Each individual key alternates between adding and subtracting. It's back to 0. I don't want to be here all night, so I will eventually give up if I can't do it. Five. And get to 8. What if I need to... I haven't even got this one to 6 yet. That doesn't cause the next one over to go. Fuck. That one's easy enough. Here we go. 6, 5, 3, 5. So they're individual row bound. Alright, we're getting somewhere. I don't know. If I spend the coin, is it just going to tell me what I already know? How good are the hints? I don't really want... Also, do I get different endings depending on which ones I cheat on? You know, I noticed these ones can change the ones next to them. Yep, that one changes the one next to it. There we go. Got 9-1. 6-1. Just have to get this one. You know what it's got to be? This has got to be it. You change this one. Got it.
How can he possibly have that left?
Adding this together to carry the one left. I don't know why the one carries left, but it does. I guess that's normal. Lets you achieve numbers on the next row over that you couldn't achieve if you confined yourself to that row. I understand now at the very end. It would have been more satisfying to understand it sooner. But I guess that depends on your brain power. There we go.
Yes! I solved it!
Thank you.
Did you?
The next one will be harder.
Stauf mentioned a proposition. Let's see. What was his message again?
That was tough. But not unfair. I just had to pay attention and learn.
Stauf knows too much. The debts. But how?
Perhaps he wants to help us. Our heart's deepest desire.
What? What?
Edward! Don't you see? The blood!
There's nothing there. Eleanor! Eleanor! There's nothing. Eleanor, we have to win this prize money. Do you want to see me locked up by our creditors? Do you?
That's right, we accept debtors' prisons.
No more of your spells. Not today.
I just need a moment.
Doesn't appreciate his witch waifu. Surely that consists of, solved Nox's room. Yep, I solved the room. Wonder how long this is.
Stauf must help us out. He must.
Quite a lot of rooms, frankly. So it may last a good amount of time. How closely does this conform to the events and puzzles of the original Seventh Guest, I wonder? I don't remember that clearly. I just remember individual mental pictures. Scraw! Crowbro. Where can I meet a baddie like that? But what? Show me what that tail do. This is good. Is this FMV? It's not. It's hard to explain. You have to see it in 3D. It's 3D scanning a human. And then, near as I can tell, they have a different model for every frame of animation. I don't know how that's possible. Some kind of AI wizardry, but it's fully 3D. You can walk around it. It looks like video, but it's clearly a model. I've seen what actual 3D VR video looks like. It's fuzzier. That's what is used for character monologues in Abduction, and it's not like that. Because those are visible only from one angle, even though they have stereoscopy. These are visible from all angles. It's like a 3D model video. It's it's like how the original Quake models worked. Remember how Quake models just had a bunch of different models for different frames in the run cycle? Instead of having a skeletal animation? This is really well done. I'm really impressed. Now does Fingies cross that we get more Quest content coming over to PCVR? I'm surprised we even got this much. There is, however, a fully remade VR edition of Myst. In case you wanted to complete your collection of early 90s CD-ROM multimedia games converted to VR puzzle adventures. What a treat for people who loved those games. This is truly the artist's original vision.
This is all so beautiful. Just like I used to have when I was younger. Is this part of Stauf's game, perhaps?
It's like Punch and Judy. Did that yield a puzzle box? What is this? Oh, boo. Non-functional VR mirror. I want a VR game. What have I been doing with my life? Writing for a tiny audience. Much as I love them. I can totally envision a VR version of Terminal Sunset. Let's like Battleship.
How macabre.
Seems like it probably also works better with the Quest controller. BRB, gotta piss. Time to take a piss. What a lovely time so far, though. How dare you suggest mascot horror to me? I'm gonna open up Google Earth and find you. BRB. Pile drive mascot horror. Cheat on mascot horror with boomer shooters. Make tiny cuts on the webbing between mascot horror's fingers with a razor blade, and then pour Tabasco sauce and lemon juice into the cuts. Explode mascot horror with dynamite. Dissolve mascot horror with acid. Slowly lower mascot horror into lava while monologuing about your evil plan. And leave it unattended by guards. That's what we do to mascot horror around here, and that's just the start. I'm not looking forward to PT's resurgence now that PT seems to be getting fully developed into a game finally. Look at how long that took. What's happening? I guess part of what's happening is COVID, which slowed some things down but also accelerated other things. Like the gaming industry received a lot more funding but also faced a lot more logistical issues. And shit's still straightening out after that. A lot of the funding has dried up, by the way, and there's been mass layoffs. Cool mirror. Impressive. Wonder how long until we can render mirrors in VR. Can't write on the mirror in VR with lipstick. Worst game of all time. What do you think of my plan to repackage my short stories using AI voices, which turn out much better if you use your own voice and then mask them with a AI voice filter than trying to have the AI do it by itself, as it turns out. People can definitely still hear the fully AI text-to-voice ones. But there's a couple good... I need to hunt down a good voice filter for horror narration. Just make that my main voice. Or like a couple different ones for different characters.
My dear Miss Hyde, I feel honored to welcome such a noble and long-standing member of our community to my house.
It looks like someone isn't ready to be buried yet.
They only move along the axis that they appear on. Shit. How do I reset it? Is there a way to reset it? I wonder. Aha. Ooh woo, what the fuck is this, Oni-chan? Aha, did it. Once it clicks in your brain, you're like, why was that ever so difficult? So did they give me something, or? This reminds me where Alcina Dimitrescu sat her fat, plump, juicy ass cheeks down in Resident Evil 8 and had that telephone call. That's why I'm afraid to play Resident Evil 8, as I need to remember to turn off the mod that puts her in a string bikini. Which is necessary for the integrity of the storytelling. It was the author's original intent for the character, actually. Is this a shader? The liquid shader like in Half-Life Alyx? It is. Amazing. Amazing. I'm guilty of that, though. I did my take on mascot horror in Persistence of Vision with a living cartoon character brought to life by a Soviet dimensional projector. And also a bunch of slave labor, animating him in real time. So I'm a hypocrite if I say, This is a really cool touch, the thing where you can shine your light around and change shit. The time light. It sends it over the top from merely passable to being really quite enchanting. I lost tracking. Lost tracking again. Lost tracking again. There's just not tracking down there. Is there any advantage to opening these doors? No, that I can tell. Oh. So I need to find more glass. Solving puzzles gives me glass shards, I suppose. So I need to make him drink the last glass. I get it. First of all, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We can make 5s with 3 and 2. Damn it, he did it again. So he gets to choose how many ever he wants. It's like a primitive video game. Oh, no, you don't, you bitch. You bitch! This is so tough. This is really similar to the Penny game. I don't know if you ever played that. But it's not divided into rows, and I only know it divided into rows. Is it called Nim? Let's see. There's like a couple dozen primordial ancient game loops that are used for puzzles. Oh, as soon as he's got me down to 5, he's beat me. So I have to get him down to 6. I have to get him down to 6. Which means only this one and onward are relevant. I have to destroy 9 of them. Here we go. Got you now, bitch. Got you now, bitch. I think. No, wait, no, I don't. I was wrong about that. 7 is what I need to get him down to. Fuck. So I need to destroy 8 of them.
Am I speaking slowly enough for you?
Here we go. Oh no, you got me again. Fuck. How does this work? Well, you got me. Fuck. Shit. Let me think hard about this. If it's my turn now and I do 3, then the most he can do 3 is 3. Oh shit. Oh, but he's no. So I get the first turn. Something. I'll find out soon. It's even remainder. Oh, he's got me. Fuck. So it's an odd remainder. It's got to be more than I keep thinking I have it figured out, but then I think of an exception. Quit doing that, Enix. Why are you doing that? Controller, stop. Stop doing that. One, two, three. If I do 3 here, then he can do. Why does my controller keep drifting to one side? Then him. Hang on, let me look it up. Make the nim sum 0 if it's non-zero. And if it is already 0, then whatever moves the player makes now can be countered. Oh no, this is normally this is played on multiple rows. I guess this is just nim, but every row is 3 units, kind of. He's got me, doesn't he? I don't think I can be. I don't think I can do this. I don't have an understanding of the mechanics. Fuck. Oh, it's because I keep touching the discs. I think I got him now. No, I don't. He's got me now. If you leave him with 5, if it's your turn and there's 5, you're fucked. So I have to leave him with 5. Fuck, I'm already fucked, aren't I? It's an odd number. No matter what I do now, I'm fucked. How do you force a victory with your turn? Let's see, there's 15. I can't stop moving left. I mean right. This doesn't seem like it should be happening. I didn't put that in input. Or 5. Stop that. $15. So I need to get rid of 6. And then have it be his turn. 5 remaining. 4. 3. Oh, he fucked me. Nope, he won. He's got me. This is really frustrating. Holy moly. I've never played it on a single line before. Can I just fuck him? Can I just... Let's try that. Let's try always keeping the remainder odd. 15. 14, 13. Nine. 7. 5. I'm fucked now. I think it's even, actually. Let's try the opposite way. You mean leave it when it becomes your turn, or leave it when it becomes his turn? 14. 12. 8. He's already got me. I'm fucked when it's down to that. Always keep the remainder odd when it's my turn or when it's his turn. Do I want to stick him with the odds or the evens? It's my turn first. Can I just do nothing? I'll try odds. I mean, yeah. 13, 11, 10, 9. Aha! Got him. I think I got him now. Yep, I do. You bitch! Eat shit and die. That's to try to keep... Stick him with the odds, basically. I guess if they go first, you try to stick him with the evens. I eventually figured it out. I'm not proud. So that's this puzzle. This puzzle, and there's got to be one more puzzle. There's 3 puzzles in every room. That's a flat skybox out there. You can't fool me. Fucking questies. Which I should be one of. If I'd been smart, that's what I would have done. I would have bought a Quest and used it as a PC VR headset. I still would not have spent as much by now as I had on my Index, even if I upgraded twice.
My dear Miss Hyde, I feel honored to welcome such a noble and long-standing member of our community to my house.
What am I missing? So I think it's that when it's your turn, you want to leave it even, leave it odd, and when he's, I mean, when you, let me start over. When you're the one who gets to go first, you want to leave it odd, and then you can beat him. Whereas it's even if he goes first. Is there a ceiling puzzle? Where's the last puzzle? What is this about? can't pick that up. It's got lore. It's got a lot of lore. I really want to show you guys Lust from the Shadows because most of it's not sexy. Most of it's just Scorn with worse graphics. But there's this giant orgy in the first part of the game that'd be really hard to skip over. I have to play everything all over again. It also has pretty bad graphics in everywhere except for Lustga, which is like their Silent Hill upside down dimension. It's basically the plot of it's kind of the plot of what's that movie with Pinhead? The Cenobites in it. Hellraiser. Where like a guy started a cult trying to use an artifact to open up a portal to a dimension of infinite ecstasy, only to find out that demons define ecstasy differently than humans. Where's the third puzzle? That's weird. Why would they be weighted like that? Is there another puzzle over here? Nothing else is lined to go in there. Witch titties. Is it this? Does anyone see a puzzle I'm not seeing? What are these fabric squares? Is this the puzzle?
The path of life, all twisting.
Oh, it is. Okay. Here we go. This is the last puzzle. I didn't even recognize it for what it was. This is home, right? This is where we start out. Oh, the path of life. So, that's the baby. That's the grave. That's adulthood. There's something physical there. I can't put my hand there. Is this old age? This is old age. Got it. That's a fun one, actually.
From the cradle to the grave, huh, Staff?
Thank you.
Foiled again.
It's complete again.
Really good puzzle design.
Is that me?
That's a good way of getting attention to a video without forcing you to look at it, also. Look at this 3D. Like, I can walk around her.
Bags. These wrinkles. So many mistakes. If only I could start over.
It's just animated photogrammetry, basically. Oh, you can see your 3D reflection, too. Oh, commentary on aging. Interesting. That's really cool. I'm having a good time. This is well done. This is a good game. It's making me want to get Myst, although Myst is considerably less user-friendly. I don't remember most of the solutions either.
Mistakes. All I need is one more chance.
Well, you seem to know all about me, Mr. Stauf. But care to tell me about you and your magic?
This is the magician's room. So each of the characters gets their own dedicated room. Interesting. I'm gonna be sad when this is over. Games of this quality for VR don't come along every day. I wonder if there's a version of this that's non-VR. It's called Seventh Guest VR, so I somewhat doubt it, but also I imagine they would want to maximize their player base they can sell to.
Well, this seems all rather trite. You're mocking me, Stauf.
Well, the right answer is never the right answer.
I can't believe I'm being fooled by such a simple game. There must be a trick to this.
Aha. Bitch titties. Bitch titties. This one's not disappearing. This is a different type of coin than the usual coins. That's what that's for. Okay. I can open this one, I think. I don't have tracking down there. You know what's the worst is when you use a word someone doesn't know, and instead of being like, I don't know that word, what does it mean? And they kind of try to string you along and pretend like they know, so in hopes that it becomes apparent from context, so they can pretend that they knew it. And I don't realize that's what's happening while it's happening. I'm just really confused while they're acting strangely. Can't open it. What's this? Or it's like the vocabulary equivalent of I'm not mad. when they definitely are mad. Like, are you mad? I'm not mad. Oh, we're cool then. No, we're not cool then. What? You just said you're not mad. People would just be honest about their feelings. It'd be a lot easier to communicate. Also, fucking interruption. I made a list of things that irritate me about everyday conversation and communication the other day on Google Documents. One of them is, I don't want to sound sexist. I don't think this is a woman thing. I think it's an holistic thing. Where you say something, and they say something that has nothing to do with what you said, and you're baffled, and it turns out what they did is they extrapolated from what you said to what they thought you were getting at, or what you feel but aren't saying, and then they treated that as if that was what you said, and they responded to that statement, not to your original statement, but they incorrectly extrapolated because they were using a theory of mind attuned to holistics, which has worked their entire life, so why would they doubt it now? And the other is just interruption. And it's funny, how funny is the word? How vital interruption is to their style of communication. They don't realize it until you point it out, and they try not to do it. Usually how it happens is someone will start talking, and then when they start talking over me, I fall silent because I don't want to talk over them. And then when they finish their interruption, which I totally ignore because it wasn't their turn, I pick up where I left off, even if it was in the middle of a word, and they look at me cockeyed, like, that's not a word. I'm like, yeah, it's half a word. You chopped that in half. That was the rest of my sentence. Like, why did you do that? And I'm like, because I don't consent to being interrupted. But I can't physically stop you without going to prison. So what I do is I wait for you to finish, and then I pick up where I left off, because you're not entitled to the free labor of me repeating myself to compensate for your interruptions. Which usually they give me the stink eye for that.
Well, I wonder what's inside here. Stauf's lovely assistant, perhaps?
But then they try, for the first time in their lives, to communicate without interruption. They fail. Like, when you say you interrupted me, they often interrupt you to say that they're sorry. Which is a second interruption. They fucking can't help themselves. They're really hopeless. And then after that, they begin to rationalize and say, well, you need to get used to being interrupted because that's a normal part of conversation. Like, are you saying you physically cannot not interrupt me? And they struggle to say, yes, I can't not interrupt you because it sounds ridiculous. And it's like short-circuiting their brain. It happens a lot less often with texting. I'm just saying, all I'm saying is conversation should be turn-based and people shouldn't interrupt each other. Which, part of the problem is that they can't tell when you're done talking or if you're just taking a break between words. So they don't know where they can interject. Because there's no verbal period. There's nothing to indicate to them that you're done you're definitively done talking. There was a proposal for a verbal period by a comedian in like 1920, 1930, I want to say, who was also an actor, and it was like the spitting sound. That's the period. But of course, the joke was it would sound like you were spitting at each other, and that no one would go for that. If I do that.
There's a pressure-sensitive plate on the floor.
So does that stop it from opening? Yes, it does. Can I stop it from closing too? If I can stop it from opening, can I make it not close? This can't be what's intended. I think people just need to see a flowchart of your thought processes and what responses they will get. That's what they normally have with one another in an instinctive format. But they don't know. There's options that they don't know are on the table. Like, there's a lot of situations where if someone just said, "I'm sorry," I'd be like, "Okay, I immediately forgive you." And they don't know that that's even an option. Because regular people don't really do that. Or a bunch of other unexpected and unexpectable responses to things. As you can see, I put a lot of thought into streamlining communication. Seems like a problem everybody has. I guess everybody like me. That doesn't need to be that way. That would be a meaningful quality of life improvement. Also, just to avoid conflicts, there's a methodology called E-Prime.
No, it's a classic magic hat. But things are not always what they seem in this place.
I can put my hand through it.
Another hat locked inside a box. I get it, Stauf. You want me to play escape artist?
What if I had to put this in here? That would divide by 0, wouldn't it? Why would they do that, Nettis? That's schizophrenic behavior. What do they want then? I can't say as I've experienced that. They ask for an explanation and then they don't want it. What happens to me is, I forgot what I was saying. Oh well, it'll come back. It'll come to me. Oh yeah, when they're surprised and they're disoriented when you answer something, a question, and they didn't expect the answer. I'm like, what do you mean? How can you be surprised at an answer you didn't know, that you weren't expecting? Well, if you knew what the answer was, why would you ask me? Or the other thing is, when I give an answer that sounds wrong, but just because I know I study a lot of topics that are unusual from my books. So when I say something, when I describe stuff like the Orion Project of the 70s with Freeman Dyson, it sounds made up. It sounds fake. So if I say we had the technology for Starflight in the 70s, or that electric cars preceded gas cars until that became common knowledge, they would say, do you know what you said? I'd be like, the fuck do you mean, do I know what I said? That is the most condescending thing you could possibly say to another human being. Yes, I realize what I said. Thank you for asking. Here is why it may have surprised you. But Nettis, I still don't get it. What did they think you would do if not explain it? What were you supposed to do in that situation? That's a fucking head scratcher. Ask for... That's a puzzle on its own. Ask for an explanation. Maybe it was too long. And then get mad when you get one. That one... that's a confusing one. Can I activate it with light? I can't. Light does not activate it. This is Swan. Snake. So I can pin them shut. That's got to be part of it. Maybe, aha. That's how I do it. That confirmed. Here I was psyching myself out thinking it had something to do with the suitcase, and it never did. And there's no way to complain about that without sounding like you're a dickhead. The interruption thing. The impression I get is I'm the wrong one, that natural communication between humans is not turn-based, but is a collaborative, interactive process. And that we're just running different software. What are those? What's that picture? Looks like a rabbit or two swans fucking. Does it lock it or unlock it? I should probably get the hat back. Is this locked or unlocked? Ah, here we go. Why did that do it? Oh, it's the song Lady in Half. Can't do that one. What does this mean? Legs out. Halfway out. That's what I did. Have I broken it? Aha, there we go.
Rabbits out of hats, sawing a lady in half. Stauf sure loves the classics.
Oh, you know what I should do? Oh. Maybe this shrinks it. Yeah, this shrinks it. Aha. I like that. That's clever. These are clever puzzles. What's in there? I need to grab that thing somehow. Oh, you know what I have to do? There we go. Fucking did it. This is cool as shit.
A bit more challenging. Now, what is this next trickery?
I bet I know.
Presto! Now, let's see who's hiding in here.
Oh no, the dick! Oh, it's poor Skeleman.
Damn you!
Not in the boner. I missed an opportunity.
Okay, Mr. Stauf. I know you're here somewhere. I know you can hear me.
That's real magic. He wasn't ready for that. Indeed, that's what it said as well. What time is it? Holy cow, what a good game. This is really engrossing. I haven't played a lot of VR recently. It takes me away from...
True power. Oh, it's here for the taking.
What was I saying? Fuck, that's what people don't get is the reason I'm so uptight about being interrupted is whenever I'm thinking of something and trying to explain it, interrupting is like a freight train right through that whole process, and it erases my complete short-term memory, and I have no idea what I was saying. When I say this, there's one of two reactions. The first is either I'm going to use this against you. If we're having an argument, I can erase your notes, basically. And the other is, I don't know if that's true. I'm going to test it out. People experiment with disability a lot to make sure that it's real. They don't believe it because they can't see it. If you have like a big scar on your head or something, or like a dent, you'd be like, oh yeah, I can see there's a physical injury to the part of your body that you think with. So that it makes it believable to me because there's outward evidence of past injury there that you would have brain problems. But if I can't see any visible injury on your head, or if I cannot see results from a lab that you had your brain surgically, your skull opened and like a tissue sample looked at under a microscope, I'm always going to be a little bit skeptical whether or not this is all just a big fucking 4-decade-long Andy Kaufman-esque act you've been doing to get away with shit.
I was looking to make a deal, but the right deal needs the right information. Stauf must have hidden something here.
You know what I mean? I blame mostly TikTok for that. But also just an attitude in the United States that the worst thing that could happen to you is giving empathy undeservedly. As if it's $1,000 an ounce and you... Like being tricked into empathizing with someone and giving away your precious, precious empathy when it wasn't deserved is like rape for tough guys. And my theory about why that is that there's a lot of dudes in this country that want to be perceived as tough, but they don't want to hit the gym. So they got big old bellies. They wear trucker hats. And in order to accentuate or put off the vibe they want to, as if they were a big muscly tough guy, they just talk like Alex Jones or Christian Bale's Batman. I turned on the frickin' frog's gay. And that's number one. And number two is they're just really mean. They think being harsh and cruel and not being empathetic makes them muscular, or makes it the perception that they're a tough guy.
When Henry left the orphanage, he started moving from town to town, taking his puppets with him.
It would undermine that to be kind to someone without a really good reason to, because tough guys aren't nice in their worldview. If that makes sense, it's I've been putting this together in my mind for like a decade. It takes me that long to do what other people can do instantly. I don't know how accurate it is, though. Is that accurate? I think a contributing factor to the skepticism surrounding disability is just tough guys not wanting to be taken advantage of. And thinking that pretend disability is a trick that beta soy cuck males use to shield themselves from the consequences of fucking with alpha males, which is dumb even to say out loud. I may be wrong, but I suspect that there's something to that interpretation of their thought processes, if I have understood. Do I have to bring it back to home? I might have to bring it back to home. Oh, there we go. So if I got that right, I think it's also part of American culture to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and to believe in the idea of like Rambo, like the self-made man, like every man is a T-Rex, is an unstoppable island to himself. We should all just be awesome Giga Chads. What they need to see in order to believe that there could be something wrong with your brain that isn't outwardly visible as an injury is basically just to live with you for long enough that they see it work against you and have consequences. Because I think I've had experiences where their reasoning, in retrospect, as they explained it to me, was that if I was imagining or making up autism, basically, that I would give up the act if ever it had consequences for me, because the point of faking it would have been to get benefits I can't have any other way, or to escape consequences. So if there are consequences to autistic behaviors and I still exhibit them and just suffer the consequences, then their reasoning is that that is evidence that it's legitimate. Which, they don't have to wait very long to see that. They just have to watch me interact with another human being that I don't know well and embarrass myself, basically. And they're like, oh yeah, alright, well maybe, in my expert medical opinion, neurodivergence could potentially be a real thing. I'll let you know. I guess so. I think about this a lot, because it takes me longer to reconstruct and reverse engineer human reactions to different things. Also, when you describe it that way, they say, do you think you're not a human? And I'm like, no. Nothing about describing other humans as humans implies that I'm not human. You've just seen movies and TV shows where aliens
know my taste.
describe humans as humans. It helps if you know somebody who, or someone is present who has an autistic sibling, because then they have the lived experiences to recognize the behaviors, and a disability skeptic will not listen to you, because in their mind you have motive to lie, but they might listen to someone else that they trust, who they know has experience with the issue at hand. So having a third-party credibility supplier is helpful. Which is, just saying it sounds a little perverse and weird. These are the complications that happen when it's like replicants or mutants. You look exactly like them. There's nothing that they can look at and see as evidence that you're any different from how they are. And talking to you for 5 minutes doesn't produce any signs of difference because you're usually able to keep it together and communicate mostly normally over short bursts, because that's all that day-to-day life requires of you. What a delight to have to fucking satisfy strangers of shit like that. I did that one. Both ways. I've thought at times about taking my paperwork around with me from the doctor, but then that's suspicious in itself. They would be like, why do you have that paperwork? And I can't just be like, because there's a lot of fucking people like you in the world. Like, no, I don't think so. I think you made that at home and carried around for this specific purpose. That's the other thing. People don't think about this, but it takes effort to be believable, even if you're telling the truth. If you don't know how to sound believable and sell it, then you can be telling the truth and still sound like you're telling a lie. My example I give for this principle is how NASA didn't add stars to the Apollo moon landing photos, even though that would raise questions. It would make them look faked to people who don't know how photography works. But it would have been, to people who understand how photography works and how near versus far exposures work, and why the dim starlight didn't show up in analog photo development, because it was drowned out by the much brighter, unfiltered light in the absence of an atmosphere bouncing off the moon, which is much closer to the camera. Then it would have been much more suspicious if there had been stars, because NASA would have modified the photos and it would have raised the question, why did they do that? You see? Not putting in the effort to make the photos raise fewer questions would have been the more suspicious thing to do. Likewise with the Holocaust Museum, where they could have restored the bunker space to the gas chambers that it was used for before it was repurposed in 1945. And that would have raised fewer questions than having a former gas chamber have a wooden door on it, which a lot of deniers seized upon as evidence that it was falsified, as if they couldn't have changed that if they wanted to. But they didn't. They left it as it was because there is a perfectly good real explanation for why it's like that. And in conversation, it's the same way. You can be telling the truth, but if it sounds wonky, you have to have finesse in order to sell it to people. That makes my brain bleed, Nettist. That would cause a bunch of ripple effects. What is... Does this symbolize something? Are those different from each other? Isn't that a hell of a thing, though, that you have to... That if you don't know the skill of sounding like you're telling the truth, you sound like you're telling a lie all the time? It was mirrored. What the fuck is primate communication, even? Anyhow. This is part of a puzzle. Oh, I know where that statue is. I know where the other one is. We're getting into the start of multi-room puzzles now. So I need to go back downstairs. Memorize where this room is. How do you sound truthy? I feel like if I ever got into the habit of it, it would backfire. That's true. Also, I argued that using photos of delousing chambers from that time period that were made out of wood and had felt filters. As a constructor of ambient pressure and positive pressure habitats, no one knows better than I do that you don't need a perfectly airtight seal if the pressure differential goes in the way that you want it to or is non-existent. But to a low information human being, there's a lot of things that look suspicious that really aren't, and that would be suspicious if they were any other way. Funny how that works. Funny how life is sometimes. I want to say it was ground floor, though. I can run. I've been moving slowly for no reason this whole time. What a great game. This is just damn fine. There's only so much you can do to steer people in the right direction in VR games. To make it so that it's not possible to frustrate yourself or get lost. Or fuck up. Making it somewhat on rails, even though it's not really on rails. Or making it on rails, basically, but not seem like that's what it is. If that makes sense. I'm not talking shit and nonsense. That's the ideal, is that it's basically on rails, but doesn't feel that way. Stay open, door. I need you to stay open. Like an amusement park ride, where it seems like there's no borders to it, but there definitely are. What the fuck? Why can't I take that out of the room? Why would I not be able to remove this? Oh, you know what? It probably goes in the dumbwaiter. No, it disappears. What am I supposed... Wait, do I use the hats for this? You can't take shit out of the same room. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Maybe we can use the hats to teleport it? Or maybe there's another statue somewhere in that same room I missed the first time. I have no body language. I have the physical presence of a dead body. I unnerve people just by standing in the room. A good friend of mine, or former friend, we had a falling out, once told me part of it is that I move my head like a bird. I'm like, what do you mean, like a bird? She says, instead of moving your eyes like a normal person to look around the room, you keep your eyes pointed straight forward. And you move your head instead. I'm like, is that not a valid life choice? And she's like, not if you want people to not be subtly unnerved, uneased by you and not be able to put their finger on why. Apparently that's a creep body language. Bird head. And also remaining really, really still and breathing slowly. Which, by themselves, don't sound problematic. Maybe it's just a combination of them. I definitely need a statue that goes on there.
My dear Mr. Titan, welcome to my house. I've watched your rise
Weird. You know, this all gels really neatly with Dostoevsky, where a big theme in the part of Underground Man I'm listening to is that human beings are just naturally, maybe especially the Slavic people, it is in their character to just be intentionally difficult and to zigzag instead of going straight, and to do whatever they're told not to do, just for the hell of it. That even he contends that even if every need were met, even if man had nothing to do but paint and sing and play instruments and eat cakes all day, he would still create problems just for the excitement and to keep life interesting. Which I find very little to dispute in that. I think that is an essential quality of human.
When Henry left the orphanage, he started moving from town to town, taking his puppets with him. He performed at county fairs and opened for many well-known magicians.
The fuck does this go to? What is this? Wait a minute. No, this is where I got it from. This can't be where it goes. It's not where it goes. Okay, that's suspicious right there, that mirror. There have been times where I've been around other autists, though, and noticed exactly what they're talking about. It is turbo cringe to be around other, especially if they're lower functioning, because it's like seeing yourself from the outside. I don't like that. I don't like self-awareness. It burns me. Like, there was this time I went to Raining Man, which is like Burning Man, but Pacific Northwest. And there's this other autist there, and I knew for a fact he was an autist the minute I saw him, because he was wearing a perfectly fitted... He weighed like 90 pounds, and was really tall. He looked like a grown-up Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle. He wore a gray suit with a gray fedora. He lived out of his car. His cat lived in his car with him. And he would pick things up and like make them fly around and make airplane noises. And he took a liking to me right away and thought I was neato, and I was charmed. But yeah, he had that same presence where I would be standing somewhere and he would be behind me, like 2 feet behind me to one side. And I would have no idea he was there because he wouldn't make any noises or movements. And I'd see him in my peripheral vision and be like, ah! Oh, how long have you been there? Gems. 8 gems equals flag. Really helpful if I knew. I already did this one though. Question now is, this has to go to something. Let me look at it. Let's go in a drawer. Does not go in a drawer. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
There's the safe. That's where Stauf's been hiding his secrets.
Aha, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
The safe won't unlock until I solve this last puzzle. Stauf's secrets are almost within my reach.
Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more knobs. That gets me in trouble too. I do the same thing. Like I said, I can't hate on another person with autism for doing the same thing I do.
Brian, I slipped under the ice and you just looked at me. Why didn't you help your own brother?
What was I saying? Oh yeah, when I'm in a grocery store or a corner store, and there's a family with a lot of children just standing there blocking the way, I stand there quietly because there's no good option other than that. People think, why don't you just tell them to just move? That's because if you startle somebody, especially if it's a woman with children, then fight or flight kicks in and they get nasty and confrontational. because you startled them and they feel fearful. So there's no way, no matter how polite, you can't tap their shoulder because then you touched them and they didn't want to be touched unexpectedly by a stranger. You can't say anything because then that startles them. But it also weirds them out if they notice you suddenly standing there without saying a word. And they apologize, and I'll usually say something like, not at all, de nada. And then I just walk past them and they stare at me like I'm an alien robot. That's I've calculated all the options. That's the best of a lot of bad options. Is to just stand there and wait for them to notice you. I think in their mind, they think that, why didn't he just say something? As if I could have, but they don't know what they would have done had I done what they think I ought to have done. Because often their own reaction to being surprised by a stranger surprises even them. And they didn't know that they would do that. I haven't finished this puzzle, have I? Oh, it loads when you open the doors. Oh, that's interesting. Done this one. Wish they had emblems on the outside of the door so you could tell which one was which without opening them. Like a big portrait. I don't think I can do this anymore. This one's solved. This thing has jaws that open. I can kind of see inside of its jaws, and there's an object in there. Yeah, I shine red when I shine my light on them. The statue is not the key that I thought it was. What is this? How do I slide this out? Hang on. Okay, so I can't grab that handle and just pull it. Can't grab this and pull it either. There's a puzzle in here, though. Oh, the eyes are buttons. There we go. Ow. It's spooky. Fuck. Okay, there's barriers here, here, and here.
Maybe you're just not the puzzling type.
Well, I don't want to upset them because I don't want to scare anyone. If I weird them out, then oh well. Is my philosophy. I need to practice NPC idle animation. You know how in games it's like a breathing motion but with their whole body, like that one NPC imitator on TikTok does. I need to move my body when I'm standing still subtly, because that's what people expect to see in their peripheral vision. And it tells your brain there's a human here. And the cat wants in. Listen, you little fella. You're the one who wanted out there so you could sit up high on the shelf and watch everything going on. I love you dearly, you little potato. You're just a hairy potato is all you are. You got plenty of food now. I went and bought you food. I went and bought new mouse litter. I can't log into TreatStream, by the way. Nobody buy me TreatStream for a while. I don't know what's going on with it. Something's wrong. I don't know if the service still works. I don't think it's reasonable. With inflation as high as it is, the Papa John's pizza is now like $30 fucking dollars. What I want to do is log on to there and see if they have expanded their options in the years since I've had it. Because I'm not bougie. Little Caesars is fine. It's good advice in life to develop a taste for cheap stuff. Like if you're gonna snack, then don't develop expensive tastes in snacks. Like learn to enjoy rice crackers, because they won't make you fat and they're cheap. If that makes sense. If you are gonna develop brand preferences, make sure that it's something that you can afford consistently. Almost. I'm onto something. I don't know if I've got it yet. No. I got it. Yeah, bitches. Oh, no, you have to get to the last square that way. Or do you? Do you have to move your piece? Okay, that has to be the...
Be sure I need to light all the tiles.
You have to light them all, but you also have to be here when you're done with it. There we go. Yeah, bitches! You know what it is. Oh, nasty. I don't know where that's been. I could do a whole stream of just Hamdad being a Tismo and causing problems for himself that don't need to be caused. I could just wear a body cam and film the conflicts I had with people. Like the time I was pulling into a parking space and there was a woman standing there and just staring at me, giving me a hostile stare. Like I didn't understand it. She waits for a couple seconds and doesn't do anything, and then just throws her hands up in exasperation and gives up. And when I get out of the car, and go into the store, get my food, come out of the store. The van has moved one space over, and it turns out the reason that she was frustrated with me pulling into that space the whole time was because they have a disabled son that they needed to get out of the side of sliding door. Like they had a special van for like his wheelchair. I couldn't see into the van. I had no idea he was in there. They gave me no indication, but on my way out, they as a family, the mother and father both glared at me and just walked slowly past me going to their van. I'm like, I didn't fucking know. Am I the one without a theory of mind, or is it you? Put yourself in my shoes. How do I know why it is that it's important to you to have an empty space next to your van? There's no way in hell for me to know that. I still feel bad about that, though. I wouldn't have done it if I had known that. But there wasn't any fucking way for me to know. That's an absurdity. I hate being the accidental asshole. If I had known what she wanted, she didn't try to talk to me. She didn't like come to my window side and say, "Roll down, I'm going to explain this to you." She could have done that and I would have obeyed her. I couldn't imagine myself in that situation, so I didn't know why anyone would do that. For fuck's sake, that's all it was. Oh, I hate that. I could never undo that either. I could never go back in time and change that. No problem, Tom. It is mostly chill. This is a really polished, juicy, chocolatey game. This is crazy good. I didn't know. I expected good things from it because it's well reviewed. It's really well designed for VR, though. Oh! Hello, what's this? Oh, that's the hint. This side has got to be mirrored. I missed earlier. I didn't really need to see that, though. Oh, hey, this is still here. I never picked that up. How about that? That was the fourth puzzle. Oh, no, wait. That's still there. Fuck. So there is still one left. What if doing the puzzle the other way causes a different one to appear? Didn't mean to do that. I don't think that's it. Usually if you're done with the puzzle, it won't let you do it anymore. Oh, hey, a secret coin. Is the fourth one just hidden in a drawer somewhere? The fuck was I supposed to do in that situation? It still haunts me. I think I dwell on shit. For years or decades after an altercation, I dwell on how I could have done things differently to not have had things go badly. Do you do the same thing? Like anytime that you get in a cringe situation, you go through the scenario in your mind and imagine other ways you could have handled it? That doesn't work. That's not it. Big head. Interesting. I never thought of an evolutionary purpose for that. I just thought it was my brain tormenting itself. Another one was where I pulled into a driveway, drive-through, and I arrived at the same time as a woman in a truck, and it's like a hillbilly woman. And we arrived at the same time, and I had a split-second decision to make. Do I pump on the brakes and let her go? Or do I continue on my path and hope that she's fine with that? Like, the situation was that our sight lines were blocked by parked cars. We couldn't see each other. So when we came around that corner, she came from this direction in the parking lot, and here's the parked cars. And I come from this direction. Here's the drive-through here. We both go here, and one of us has to stop and the other has to go. And we have like 0.1 second to decide. So I just kept going, and I pulled in, and she pulls in behind me and starts honking her horn. Honk, honk, honk. So that I can't order. She does this so that when I go to the drive-thru, the person on the other end can't hear my voice. Knowingly. It's the most obnoxious thing in the world. So I get out and I try to talk to her. I'm like, listen. She says, you cut in front of me. And I said, I didn't fucking cut in front of you. We both arrived at the same time. One of us had to go in front of the other. There was almost a fucking accident. I didn't mean any harm to you. I assume you meant no harm to me. This doesn't have to be a fight. We can just laugh about how life is sometimes. What am I trying to move? Oh, all right. Oh shit. Shit on a fucking cracker. It's just awkward being physical, being a three-dimensional creature, and also communicating primarily through verbal transmission, which is an insanely lossy format. It's kind of surprising we don't have a better way to do that. Can you imagine aliens who communicate through like some other capacity? Saying they use their breathing for communication. They make breathing sounds. Being like, wow, that's fucked up, man. Okay, well that's not how you do it. Does that not go in there?
I really need to pick the right path and avoid the pitfalls. I'm so close, I can feel it.
Shit on a fucking fucker, shit. There we go. Here we go. It goes in here. It can't be right. Aha, aha. No! I almost had it. Seems to be some loose rules for when it falls down the hole and when it doesn't. Seems to make up its own fucking logic. There we go. It's just gravity. That was really neat.
It doesn't matter. You will never make it out alive.
What if I told you, in fact, I will make it out alive? I'll do the very thing which you said I won't.
Stauf Toys Internal Operations, 1925. The old fool. Trade secrets. No wonder he kept them in a safe. Blank pages. What in God's name?
Bring me the boy. For a song.
What boy? What song? For a song.
Lore. Oh, it makes the whole room new also when you beat it. What a nice touch. What a bunch of nice touches. What a really nicely made game. Holy cow. One more hour left. It's going to be this game for the entire stream, it looks like. I wanted to play Grab by the Ghoulies, but we're not going to get to it.
Stauf's secrets will be mine.
Don't you wish that this night could just last forever?
Not in particular, not as such. It's a good way to handle FMVs.
Oh, careful, miss.
Martine.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Edward, is it?
yeah,
I seem to be a bit turned around.
understandable. Everyone has retired to their rooms, with a plan to rendezvous in the library at 8.
A stutter. How charming.
Since I was a child.
Well, it's nothing to be ashamed of. At least you've got the brains for these puzzles. I'm just a dopey little actress.
Sure, you're very talented.
Say, why don't we form a team? Your intellect and my charisma.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, give it a think, sugar. I'll await your answer in my room after the library rendezvous, where it's nice and private.
So you're saying you're gonna suck my dick? Oh, nope. That was unexpected. That one really got me. He's gonna give some sloppy toppy though. It's all but guaranteed. This is making me flashback to middle school where the hot girl always paired up with the smart kids so that they wouldn't have to do the projects, the group projects, and then they got 1 grade for everybody's work.
If you feel the need to reflect, my own personal library is at your disposal. It is right across the hall, opposite the dining room. But I've been doing a spot of redecorating, so things may be a bit out of place.
I'm the 7th guest. They're not the ghosts, I am. That's the big twist, isn't it? Dun dun dun. What a twist! A ghost is going to solve all the puzzles and get his wildest dreams, wishes granted, which is going to be to come back to life or something. Opposite the dining room. Is that it? Oh, the smoke shows the next door, doesn't it? I should pay attention to visual cues. It's cool how it closes the door and unloads all this shit behind it to save on performance.
Feeling disconnected.
It's kind of corny, but that's part of the charm. It's like a Halloween theme park attraction. It's like the Haunted Mansion at Disney.
A library without books? Unlikely. Oh yeah, there's something going on here.
Oh, I see. I just need to know what time. What's this steampunk nonsense? Ye olde trackball. Alright, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I can make him dance. Na 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 na. Bird school. It's my old pal, Bird Skull. Kill the president! That's what you always say, Bird Skull. I'm never gonna do it. Oh, it's like the Return of the Living Dead. Oh, what's happening there? What's happening there? Ghost crime? Yeah. I see 3 and I see 4. Aha. Aha. This is a sounding rod for my Scrungus. You're not ready for that knowledge yet. This is very much like The Room, frankly.
Well, there they are. But now, how to get them to their proper place?
What's their proper place? That can't be right. How do I reset this? I don't think I do reset it. Surely that's where that goes.
Enjoy your little victory while it lasts.
No, he went in the fire. That smells incredible, though. Burnt butterfly. Who knew? Sweet oblivion.
These bookcases were moving by themselves. And earlier, a skeleton came alive right before my very eyes.
I saw blood.
Well, I was in my room getting my beauty rest. Perhaps you should do the same.
All I saw was a dusty bedroom in need of cleaning service.
Oh, don't look at me. I didn't see anything. Oh, I'm bored. I'm going to the kitchen. Maybe I can find a talking skeleton that'll pour me a drop of the hard stuff.
Wait! We shouldn't go walking alone. You might be in danger. If you've read anything about Mr. Stough's dolls.
Tell me you don't believe in that gossip. There's no danger. This is just a harmless little party.
Even if the house was haunted, I could fend for myself.
This is a game, nothing more. One of us is going to win that prize money. I say, every man for himself.
It may be a game, but only Stealth knows the rules.
Superb. Amazing. Amazing. That was the only puzzle in here? Really?
Some party. Pathetic.
Mr. Temple, I feel there's someone else with us. Not a spirit. A seventh. Someone frightened.
You have the gift.
Edward refers to them as my spouse. He says I'm hysterical, but it's not my imagination. It's...
My dear, I understand. More than most.
But what Edward wants is...
But what do you want?
Maybe my gift could help people. I've always liked children. Edward and I never... I should lie down.
You should lie down with me. Oh, she's gonna get the BBC.
Game room. Playing cards. You'd like some company. You know where to find me.
It's turning into a swingers party really quickly. This is superb. I bet you this gets a PSVR version.
My honored guests, Harley on the Hudson's finest. Please feel free to use the downstairs kitchen if you're feeling a little peckish. And I think you'll find the upstairs game room is most entertaining. After all, you can never have too many games.
You would think, but you should see my backlog.
Play forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Spooky, spooky, spooky man, spooky man, spooky man.
Did something just move over there?
As amazing as this,
Bookcases, living skeletons? Ridiculous.
as this,
Where does Stauf keep the wine? And where is Stauf, for that matter?
as amazing as this shit is, you really can't get a solid sense of how amazing it was in the 90s to play the original. In large part because it wasn't just a choose your own adventure CD shitpost, which is most of the FMV software that made it to CD format. It was just a movie with branching pathways. There's a bunch of garbage like that, that's shovelware. Just by people in a race to publish something on CD-ROM with FMV on it. Seventh Guest was one of the first ones that did what Myst would later do with Riven, which is incorporate video as a movement mechanic. So you could move around from place to place and video elements in the puzzles. So they were animated well to give you the illusion that the pre-rendered environments were not pre-rendered but real-time. And you could interact with them freely and weren't really constrained in the way that you normally are with FMV content. And it achieved the concept of a playable video far better than the choose your own adventure crap. Interactive FMV done right was mind-blowing at the time. Keeping in mind most games up to that period had been like Mario type stuff or Zelda. So as a seemingly photorealistic 3D environment, we could freely move around even if it wasn't truly free movement.
But when the Great Depression struck, the young puppeteer fell on hard times. The towns that used to welcome him now left him out in the cold.
Oh, this is the main bad guy's origin story, isn't it? This is puppeteer lore, or toy maker lore. Oh shit! Isn't this moldy? Or is it the type of cheese it's supposed to be? Spooky cheese, spooky cheese. Let's make that cheese new again. Damn, that looks good. And white cheese got to be so expensive. It's one of the things that would change immediately about my life if I had a lot of money, is I'd be eating a lot of fancy cheeses. Brie, Camembert, Wensleydale, Gouda, Havarti, even halloumi from time to time. Although that's a really potent fried cheese that is not to everyone's taste. Two onions, one pepper, ground meat, and wine. Or the apples. I believe they're onions. Or garlic. I can't fucking tell from the... I think it's these things. Two of these.
That was not the right sort of onion.
It's not the right sort of... Okay, there's different types of onions then. It's this type of onion. It's a red onion. Where's the other one? It's not potatoes. We know it's not potatoes. Well, there's the pepper. We have to solve a puzzle for the pepper.
That's one.
Man, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting this. Gordon Ramsay's gonna start yelling at me and I'm gonna cry. Can't let go of this. What if I put the soap in there? What if I put soap in there? I can't grab it. Fuck. I want to make a soap stew. There's the other one. Couldn't be easy.
The meat. It needs to be a certain shape.
Why? You're just going to grind it, aren't you? You can't remove it once you get the right one. There we go. Why you gotta make gross meat noises? Is that really necessary? Oh, gross. Now I need a crank handle. What is this bullshit, by the way? 2944. Is this like Minesweeper? There's a hint right there. Every so often your mind zones out and you look at a wall or something and 2 neurons fire in your brain. They normally only fire if you look at a real wall. And there's a spark of presence for just that moment. Good lighting is really what does it for me. 15. Fuck. 3. 8. In all directions. Alright. That's not it. So 50.
There's the red wine I need.
You need the meat handle first. There's a dumbwaiter. Oh, but it's locked. Maybe that's the prize for solving this room.
Ew, this place smells bad. Like something rotten.
Haunted ghost turds? Is it finally time? It's just a shitter. What, how did the shitter work in a house that's old? Did they have the plumbing? They had a real bathroom, didn't they? Or is this like the servant bathroom that was just a ditch to a poop hell?
Here, little piggy, piggy, piggy.
The horror of meat eaters. Can I chop the head? Why would it make that noise? Oh, this will later open up into a basement, won't it? Cork remover. Can't be what I need. They would put it in the same room. Little spider bro, why do we have to be enemies? Why can't we be friends? I took his life savings. That was his fortune. I feel terrible. Is canned food period appropriate? How old is canned food? I know about jar preserves.
The pipes are not working.
Another puzzle. God damn, this is just some good virtual reality. This is really immersive. This is on Quest also. Everybody can play it. Anyone watching this. It's cross-platform. Don't let me spoil the puzzles for you. I guess so. Someone goes down there and shovels the shit out. Or just dumps into a river or something. I got the meat log. God, that's a really unfortunate term. Need the crank handle. Oh, they have numbers on them. $11, $12, $13, $14, $15, $16. That's not right. $8, $9, $10, $11, $12, $31. That's 16. I don't know if that's possible. Can't drop it. There you go. Oh, that's where they respawn, is it? Seven would go here. Six. 9 would go here. Doesn't seem right. 11? 11? That doesn't, no, that can't be right. $12. Those three are correct, I believe. Assuming we're supposed to add them. There's something I'm not getting here. I'm adding 9 to 4 and 2 to get 15. I'm adding 7 to 4 and 4 to get 15. I'm adding 9 to 4 and 2 to get 15 again. What am I not getting? It's not ideal. I can't
There's the red wine I need.
figure that one out. This really is getting trickier. Oh, summer sausage. A delightful snack. For any season, really. Can I open this?
But when the Great Depression struck, the
No.
young puppeteer fell on hard times.
It's frozen.
Oh. Oh. It doesn't work. Maybe down here. There we go. There we go. That was the solution. That'll ruin the stew, though.
One meatball coming up.
That's a spice. This literally is making a spicy meatball. That's what we're making. Hot pepper, meatball, onions, and red wine.
Recipe, huh? Now, where are those ingredients?
That's a spicy meatball. That's a spicy meatball. Spicy meatball. Meatball. There's different amounts in them. It's not what I'm supposed to do. Does it wrap around? Does it warp to the other side or not? It can't be. That would be too complicated. I'm gonna have to look up a guide for this one. Being able to grab it anywhere is really cool. Being able to do actions like this even when they don't work perfectly all the time. Still feels revolutionary all these years later. No. What do I do here? What am I missing? Vengeful Italian. Yeah. Beep-a-da-baba. Beep-a-da-baba-da-booba. It makes sense now. Boop-bop, beep-bop, boop. Boop-a-da-baba. Yeah, but in Rome, not everybody had that. Rich people had that. Their solution to housing was that not everybody got it. Slaves lived in dormitories, and only wealthy senators had the houses that we associate with Roman technology that had all the amenities. 15 and arrows. What does that mean? Nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 2, 2, 4. Nine, 10, 11, 12. I have no idea what the solution is here. It's just not clear. All the rows, all the rows and columns. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. That's how that works? Is this even 9? 2 9s. Well, that makes more sense than what I was doing before. Wasn't quite what I thought. 15. That's not right. Seven. This doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem possible. So this is 15. 6, 7, 8. Seven is right there, isn't it? But 8 and 5 is not. I can't have both work. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 15. 10, 11. 14 is over here. I must be misunderstanding it again. Only this one can go here. But then this one doesn't add up. Getting there. I need a 4 to go there, though. These are 15. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 4. I need 4 to go there. It doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work.
The wine bottles all have numbers on them.
I noticed that. Thank you. Patronizing ghost lady.
When Einstein discovered special relativity, he was only 26. So, how are you doing?
Shut up. God damn. And fuck, it's awkward too. 2. Eight's got to be here. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's not right, though. There's no number that satisfies both of those. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is 15 horizontally, but not vertically. I don't think so. Maybe. Actually, yes, it is. 12, 34. I'm stupid, it turns out. This is 15. There's only 2 more places that bottles can even go. Here. 10, 11. That's not right, though.
Oh, you have no idea what you're up against.
I'm being bamboozled by math.
The numbers on the wine rack must also be important.
Shut up!
Maybe the rows and columns all need to add up to something.
This would have to be 3, so that can't be where that goes. Those 2 are where they need to be. 6.
Do you find other things in your life difficult too? Like matching socks or forming sentences?
Is it... There we go. I'm not stupid. I'm not. I'm a little stupid.
Just what the suit needed.
With the glass? Savage. Is it a soup even? I'm glad I looked up only enough hint to figure out what I was doing wrong. That wasn't really spelled out well enough. $15. Kind of. Almost. That's correct. That's exactly right. So each has to be 10. There we go. They're slightly different difficulty levels. They're more or less satisfying accordingly.
A little bit of spice will give it more flavor. Now it's a proper brew.
You haven't beaten me yet.
Stauf, what do you want? Show yourself.
Oh, it's the fucking T-1000.
Looking for me. Bring me the boy. Nice and clean.
Oh, he's a pederast. Clean him up for me. Spread some Crisco on his inner thigh. It'll burn less. Looks like it's quitting time. Perfect timing. Holy moly, what a game. I wasn't expecting to be shit, but I wasn't expecting to be this good. This is prime VR Kino. Or whatever Kino term is for video games. Everything is streamlined, so no part of it's frustrating in VR. None of the puzzles, except for one, required me to look up hints. They were just frustrating enough to make it satisfying when I beat them. Superbly designed game. I have nothing bad to say about that. It really does more than justice to the original and adapts it to a new medium with flying colors. I'm quite pleased. I had a great time tonight, more so than usual. Usually it's a grab bag. It's a Russian roulette of itch.io games where some of them, every so often we hit on a gem and it makes my whole night. But tonight the whole thing was just solid gold all the way through, which it should have been, because that was a big name VR title. You never know though. Sometimes they disappoint you. This wasn't one of those times. This was just great. I have nothing. There's nothing that could have been better. This will be a memorable one. I'm gonna be sad when it's over, and it's one of those games where I'm gonna want to erase my memory and play it over again. Thank you for joining, and thank you for following along. Get at me again on Wednesday, same ham time, same ham channel. This is your friendly neighborhood Ham Dad signing off and returning you to your regularly scheduled sleepy time.